The Forgotten Caverns on Coral Island have so much to explore, but they can be overwhelming to take on if you don't know where to start. As always, I'm here to guide you with all sorts of tips and tricks. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, and today I will be sharing tips and tricks for mining to get you started with your adventures in Coral Island's Forgotten Caverns, which is one of my favorite parts of the game. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. First up, the caverns actually won't be available right away when you start playing Coral Island. You will have to wait until spring day 3 for them to unlock, but don't worry about missing this because Mark will pay a visit to your farmhouse to let you know they've reopened. The caverns are located in the forest northwest from your farm. From the lobby, you can see 4 different gates representing different elements: earth, water, wind, and fire. You will have to explore the shafts in this order, only unlocking the next gate upon completion of the prior. Depending on the gate you're in, you will be able to collect different types of ore, essences, crystals, and geodes, which when opened at the blacksmith will have a chance to unearth even more crystals. You can also find fossil nodes from breaking rocks once you've received the soft bristle brush as a reward from upgrading the museum. In the Earth Gate, you will find bronze ore, earth geodes, and crystals. In the Water Gate, you will find silver ore, water geodes, and crystals. In the Wind Gate, you will find gold ore, wind geodes, and crystals. And finally, in the Fire Gate, you will find osmium ore, fire geodes, and crystals. In all gates, you have a chance to find mystery geodes, which can drop earth, water, wind, and fire crystals. Overall, you're likely to complete most of your crystal collection through opening geodes, as it is quite rare to find an actual crystal node within the mines. It will be essential for you to have your pickaxe on hand to travel through the mines and collect all of these valuable goods. I would also recommend upgrading your pickaxe at the blacksmiths as soon as you can before upgrading any of your other tools. The reasoning behind this is twofold. With each upgrade, you will be able to break sturdier and stronger rocks with fewer hits, saving you stamina and time as you get to more challenging gates and levels. Also, you will need ore to upgrade most of your tools and craft important makers, so having an upgraded pickaxe will help you gather ore more efficiently to upgrade all of the rest of your tools and complete other projects. Aside from your pickaxe, the only other tool you really need for mining is your sword, which will be given to you by Kira when you first enter the mines. There are monsters to encounter within the mines that will be tracked in your bestiary as you battle them. This will count how many you've defeated and what loot they have a chance of dropping. We'll talk more about combat later in the video, but for now, all you need to know is that you can set your combat mode to default, in which monsters will attack you when they notice you, or hit to aggro so that the monsters won't attack you at all unless you first hit them with your sword. One other tool you can use on your mining expeditions is actually your fishing pole. It's not an essential by any means, but it is possible to fish in the mines on levels where there is water as well as in the mining lobby, so keep this in mind. Aside from your tools, it is absolutely essential to bring food on your mining trips to replenish your stamina along the way and avoid passing out or having to end the trip earlier than you'd like. In early game, candied tree seeds are the best because you will obtain the recipe at foraging level 1 and the materials for them are easy to collect. You can get tree seeds by shaking trees and sap from cutting them down, and while you can eat the forageables you find around the island in early game to boost your stamina, the candied tree seeds are more efficient for the mines specifically because they will stack in your pocket to save space. Plus, the crafting system is integrated with your home storage, so as long as you have the materials tucked away in a chest somewhere, you can actually craft extra candied tree seeds directly from the mines without having to run back home or having the resources in your pocket. A bit further into your gameplay, once you have a kitchen, bug jerky is great for stamina replenishment. You will unlock the recipe at catching level 2, and it simply requires any one insect and a grill to cook successfully. For this, it's best to use low value, easy to catch bugs, like flies for example. Even further, as you travel through the mines, you will periodically be rewarded with jamu, which you can also use to replenish stamina when you get your hands on it. And as a little bonus tip, if you are playing on New Game Plus, be sure to stock up on vitamins from the clinic, which will fully fully replenish your stamina bar upon consumption. So as long as you have your essential tools and some food, you can leave anything else back at home to free up as much pocket space as possible and collect all the goods. So now that you're prepared for your trip, you'll want to go as early in the day as possible to get started. It's even better if you can use the weather channel on your TV to plan a trip on a rainy day, so you don't have to use any extra stamina ahead of your expedition to water your crops. In the beginning, you will have to reach the caverns on foot, but pretty soon you'll unlock fast travel to make it much easier to go back and forth from the mines to your house, so be sure to check out my video on how to unlock all fast travel waypoints for more on this, which will be linked in the description of this video. In the mines, you can visit any of the levels 1 through 40, however, the elevator only reaches every 5 levels. This means that in order to save the progress you've made on each trip and activate the elevator for easier return, you will need to descend levels in increments of 5. This will take some strategizing along with time and stamina management. Simply put, you descend the levels by hitting rocks and looking for an opening to drop down to the next floor. Please note that these openings will reset on the next day, which is exactly why it's even more important to save your progress with the elevator. If it comes down to it and you're running out of time, stamina, or both, prioritize reaching a floor to save your progress over collecting additional resources. You can always come back via the elevator to stock up on ore and geodes later. Once you see an opening, move on to the next floor unless there's anything really valuable that you want to collect and you have the time and energy to do so. It's also extremely important to note that there is no elevator between levels 30 and 40, so you will have to travel through all 10 levels in one go. They do give you a free opening at level 35, which is nice, but I would recommend saving this stretch of mining for the beginning of a new day to be safe, so once you get to level 30, just head out to regroup and prepare for the final stretch of the cavern to take on at a later date. Now, starting off with the basic pickaxe, prioritize hitting small rocks that take 1 hit to break first on each level to try and reveal the next opening before resorting to bigger rocks that will take multiple hits to break. This gives you the best chance to find an opening while saving your stamina. As you explore the mines even further, deeper, and throughout different elemental gates, you will become more familiar with which rock shapes, colors, and designs take fewer hits compared with others. So even when you upgrade your pickaxe and are dealing with larger rocks, go for the single hitters first before the double or triple hitters. Along the way, you will be able to spot various crates, barrels, and bags around the levels. Now these are more than just decoration. You can actually smash them for a chance to find bonus resources and sometimes even treasure like crystals. You can break these with your sword, or you can just dash right through them. It doesn't take any stamina to break them, only time. So as long as you're fairly quick about it, it shouldn't impact your descent. Also, these will randomly respawn when you return to the mines, so it's not a one-time collection. One other thing you really need to keep your eyes peeled for are ore veins. These are tiny cracked spots on the ground which you can hit with your pickaxe. Then simply follow the trail until you see a large shiny spot emerge and hit this spot repeatedly to collect a bunch of ore. On levels 10, 20, and 30 of each cavern, there will be stone treasure chests with one-time rewards for you to collect. You can get some really great items like the previously mentioned Jamu and even the Ring of Speed, which is a huge game changer for all of your activities around Coral Island. Simply equip this to your ring slot and your tool-based actions will all become much more speedy and efficient. As you explore and complete the caverns, you will level up your skills, gaining skill points to spend at every 2 levels. Definitely don't delay spending these points as there are some amazing mining mastery perks available. The first 3 skills available are actually all amazing. Geode Finder will increase the chance of finding geodes by 100%. I personally redeemed this one first because I love collecting geodes, which can be opened at the blacksmiths to find crystals inside, and these crystals can be donated, offered, used for enchantments, gifted, kept, or sold for money. But I'm very experienced with the mines, so for beginners, I would actually recommend redeeming either Rock Domino or Double Ore first. Rock Domino offers a chance to create a domino effect, breaking surrounding rocks with just one hit of your pickaxe. This can really help you save stamina overall as you mine, and could help you uncover an opening to the next level, especially when you're in a pinch. Double ore is also an essential perk, especially once you start collecting more valuable ore, like gold and osmium. It gives you a chance to obtain double ore with each of your hits. You'll definitely want to have this perk redeemed as soon as you can to collect extra ore for upgrading tools, crafting, and maybe even selling once you have a surplus. As you level up, you will also unlock craftables at various skill levels. One very useful craftable is unlocked at mining level 1, which can actually be achieved before even entering the mines if you break a lot of rocks on your farmland. At level 1, you will unlock the first tier of explosives to craft. These are useful for clearing rocks in the mines if you're low or out of stamina, or just if you prefer it over hitting individual rocks. The explosives are also great for clearing debris from your farm, so you really can't go wrong. You can ultimately unlock 2 higher tiers of explosives as well, with larger zones of impact, but be sure to stand back because you will take damage if you're standing in the danger zone. You can also unlock a craftable rope item at mining level 2, which will allow you to descend a level in the mine automatically. I personally don't find the need to use these, but they could seriously come in handy depending on your playstyle, and wouldn't hurt to have on hand in case of emergencies. For example, if you're just one level away from saving your progress with the elevator, but are completely out of stamina, time, or both, just place down a rope and descend automatically to the next level, and you're golden. If you do happen to pass out when mining, there won't be any extra punishment for having done so at the mines specifically. You won't lose anything from your pockets, it will just act as a regular pass out, where you start the next day with low health, low stamina, and a medical bill. Once you have completely cleared any one of the elemental gates, my favorite tip for revisiting them to collect resources is to use the elevator and descend to levels 1, 5, 15, and 25. These are the levels where the elevator will bring you to a floor, usually rich in resources to collect, without having to manually uncover new openings. So that's basically all you need to know for navigating the mines. If you follow these tips, you should be a pro in no time. And not to mention, there's also a very compelling and interesting story woven throughout each of the gates that I will leave for you to uncover. I do also briefly want to touch on combat, since it is part of the experience. As I previously said, you can turn off combat by changing your settings to hit to aggro. However, even if you select this setting, you will still need to engage in combat at 2 points. The first is for a specific quest called Entrance Exam, which will activate once you reach level 10 of the mines. For this quest, you will need to defeat 30 enemies to be initiated into the BOS and gain access to their hideout. I would say it's very worth it to complete this quest because the BOS shop has a ton of useful items for sale, specifically different equipable rings with awesome buffs. It's pretty easy to fight the monsters in the earth caves, especially the scullies, bloops, and tukutukus, so you should be able to breeze through this quest and then enjoy the rest of the mines peacefully. The other reason you will need to engage in combat is to complete the monster loot bundle at the Lake Temple. I don't know if the team has plans to offer an alternative for this in the future, but I personally would love to see the addition of having monster loot for sale at the BOS, perhaps in exchange for merit points or at a high price, to offer an alternative for those who don't want to engage in combat. However, if you are interested, you might be keen to know that there is a large variety of weapons available for sale at the BOS, so you can experiment with these and find something that suits your preferences and playstyle. But that's where I'll leave the combat discussion at for today until we know more. Well, there you have it, friends. I hope this guide filled with tips and tricks will get you started on your adventures in the Forgotten Caverns on Coral Island. Let me know down in the comments which of the 4 gates is your favorite, what loot you've been able to collect so far, anything and everything. You know I always love hearing from you. Please give the video a like if you find these types of videos helpful. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care. And a very special thanks to Paul, Meredith, Ember, Formodus, Tansy, Becca, Anime Lover, Jack, Janes, Cisco, Phoebe, Janelle, Dragonfae, Judith, Blossom, Sunshine, Elsa, It's Me, Cheese, Divine Raven, Kayla, Wolf, Salem, Zaries, Lawrence, Fabiola, Sunshine, Kicknell, Alyssa, Floras, Arnica, and Grey Ghost, my beautiful Gemstone members. I love you all very much, and thank you so much for the extra support on the channel, which really helps to make all that I do possible. It means the world to me.